They have me muted, y'all. Again, welcome to the Late Night Madness Show. I am your host, Dr. Isaiah Felder. So good to be here with you guys on this great Monday. Um, it has been a weekend. Let me tell you, it has definitely been a weekend. But we're here. We are here, and it's good to be here. So I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that we made it to another week. And it's always good to have people in your corner who support you in your endeavors and everything that you want to do, trying to do, whether it be business, whether it be ministry, whether it be a little side hustle, whatever it is. It is always good to have someone there pushing you forward, telling you you can do it, telling you that you can make it, telling you that whatever you put your hands to, it's going to work out. Remember, last week I told you guys, don't have idle hands this season. Idle hands are not going to help you in this new wave of opportunity that you are trying to get to, that you're trying to achieve. So you don't want these being idle. You want to put your hands to every possible thing that you could possibly imagine. You want to make sure that you are hands first in everything. It's okay to be a person like myself. I am firsthand. I am a watcher. I watch everything. I like to see things first, but then after I see it, I want to put my hands to it. It's like I'm ready to go. It's time to go. It's time to move. It's time to do whatever it is that I just saw. And if you are that type of person, that is a good thing. But you don't just want to be a watcher this season. You want to be one of those people that are like, I saw it, I got it. Let's go. Let's do this thing. Let's make this thing happen for the best of everyone. Got a good show for you tonight. So I hope you came with your questions. I hope you came with your comments because y'all know I love them. Of course, we start every night at 9 p.m. and we are always live on YouTube and Facebook. So if you're on either of those platforms, you can always drop your comments and your questions right there in your comment section on either platform. But most definitely, we want to see your comments and your questions. Bless you, bro. Good to have you on the show here watching with us. So I'm ready to get right into the hot topics tonight because I have some stuff that I just need to talk about. So we're gonna go right into hot topics tonight. So check this out. Now this question is gonna blow some of y'all's minds, and then some of y'all, I don't know how you gonna feel about it, but I just have to ask: have the streets become our young men's inspiration? And a lot of people will say to me, well, that's a big question to ask because it's been going on for so long. I get that, but now it's becoming a lot more prevalent. Um, I was listening to a young lady, a young mother, shall I say, on a podcast earlier today, and she was talking about how a young man had basically said to her, he could go out in the streets and make $200-300 in a couple of hours, while everybody else can go work a 9 to 5 job, and you know they would have to make that within 8 hours of a day, something like that. And what she was saying was what young men are missing in this day and time, and maybe you don't agree with me, but I definitely believe this. Um, our young men are missing fathers, and they're missing male mentors. I was always the type of person that had the understanding that mom could only do so much, grandmom could only do so much, auntie could only do so much, godmom could only do so much. But they couldn't teach me certain things about being a man. They just couldn't. And so finding that inspiration or finding that male mentor from somewhere is a little hard to do when it's just mom or it's just aunties in the home. So have the streets become our young men's mentor, because guess what? They can go out in the street and find a mentor real quick. The guy that they buy drugs from becomes their mentor. The guy that they go run errands for, and they're coming home with $2, $3, $4, $500 every week, and you're trying to figure out where it comes from. They found somebody that has inspired them, and they don't, they're not a police officer, they're not a doctor, they're not a lawyer, they're not any of those things. They are strictly somebody out here in the streets who is like, listen, you may not like what I do, but I'm going to show you what was shown to me. I don't know. How do y'all feel about this? I'm looking for some commentary tonight on this one right here, because I just feel like the streets have become our young men's inspiration. And it's proven with what they watch, the music they listen to, the artists they follow. It is proven. I have young men who, instead of, and I don't condone it, but instead of fighting, when I was in school, we fist fought. We're not bringing nothing to the fight. We're gonna meet you at 3:00. We either gonna do it outside in the bus yard, or we gonna meet up in our little playground area in our apartment complex, and we gonna get it in. We ain't bringing nothing. Ain't nobody allowed to jump in. It's just strictly me, you, and our fists. Nowadays, I have young men who are like, listen, if they want to fight me, I'm definitely bringing that peace with me. It's not the same anymore. It's just not the same. So I don't know. I don't know. Have the streets become our young men's inspiration? My answer, I'm going to say my answer is yes. That's what I'm going to say. My answer is yes to that one. Because it's more prevalent, and it's happening. It's happening before our very eyes, and it's almost like we are ignoring it, or we're bringing attention to everything else except that. Like they are literally just killing people. You could talk about, you could talk about, their girlfriends, or give their girlfriends a compliment, or you could talk about their you could talk about anything with them, and they ready to just pop off, pull out a gun, and they ready to shoot you. Like, what is happening, y'all? What is happening? What is happening? And I'm not just gonna say it's the streets' fault. I will also say it's at home's fault too. It's like, although dad is not in the home, I understand that, but where are the uncles at? Where are the uncles? Where are the godfathers? Where are the the men? When I was in school, we had a boys group called oh man, what was it called? Passport to Manhood. And we had a group of brothers that made sure that even if you weren't in the group, but you were associated with somebody in the group, they still looked out for you. We don't have that stuff anymore, and I think that is part of the reason why we are dealing with what we're dealing with the young men, because they don't have that secure mentor anymore. So I don't know about this one right here. This one is an open topic for everybody. But we're gonna move on. Ah! I had to laugh at this one. I was laughing at this all day. And I had to bring it up because it's just funny to me. I don't know if y'all know what's going on with President Trump. If you don't know what's going on with President Trump, just go ahead, go on CNN real quick. Find out what's going on with President Donald J. Trump. But this man is crazy. This man saying he's going to run for president from prison if the man goes to prison next March. He is waiting for he is waiting to go to court. I don't know all the details. I know bits and pieces. I've been trying to keep up with it. I'm a news person, y'all. I love the news. I do watch the news, heavily watch the news. But this man, this man right here said he's gonna run for president from prison. Have y'all heard such foolishness? I've never heard such foolishness in my life. Ever in my life. We are running for, well, if he gets to run for president from prison, there's a lot of people in prison that could possibly do the same thing. So I don't know. Maybe he's doing a lot of firsts for everything. But the biggest issue I'm having with some of the, and I hate to say it on live, but I guess I will. The biggest issue I'm having with a lot of our African American community is, you ask them who they're going to vote for next election, and you bring up Donald Trump. And they say Donald Trump, and the reason why they say it is because they say it's because he gave me money. What? He gave me a stimulus check. He gonna give me another one. I don't know about that. I don't know too much about that one. Unless we have another pandemic anytime soon, or any, Russia's talking about nuclear issues between them and the United States. So we just don't know what's going on right now. Really don't know what's going on right now. But it's okay. It's okay. Meanwhile, DeSantis, if you don't know who that is, he is the governor of Florida. And he has upset a lot of people. Shall I explain? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let me explain. So, this man gets on national television and says he is not responsible for African American history not being taught in his state. Please explain that to me. I just really want to know. He said he's not responsible whatsoever. He's not responsible. Now, in a real world, my friend, you are responsible, because there is no way you let your education system pull out valuable history like that. And then what are you going to replace it with? Is what I want to know. That's the biggest question that I want to know. What are you going to replace it with? I don't think there's anything that you can replace Black history with, or African American history with. There's nothing you can replace it with. And how are you not responsible, my friend? How are you not responsible? It's just it would appear, or you make it appear as though it just slipped through your fingers and you just had no control. It just happened. I don't know. I don't know. It's just our politicians have lost. They're losing their brains. I don't know. I do not know these days. I'm definitely a politic watcher, but here recently I just can't watch because it's just getting worse and worse. It's just getting worse and worse. But it just made me laugh today when I saw that it said that Donald J. Trump, y'all, Trump said he gonna run for president from prison. I find it funny. All right, this is what I really wanted to talk about, and we're going to talk about it. We are going to talk about this, and while we're talking about it, I want you to have an open mind. But I really need you to hear my heart about this right here. Houston School District plans to turn libraries into disciplinary centers for kids with behavior. Oh, I'm sorry. I had to pause. I had to really think about Houston schools. First of all, whose bright idea was this? I just need to know whose bright idea was this to turn libraries, a major fundamental thing that kids need in school. Why would you turn libraries into disciplinary centers for kids with behaviors? You couldn't make, when I was in school, we had the ISS room, the SBI room. And most kids stayed out of that room because they didn't want to, they didn't want to be in that type of situation because it didn't look cool, none of that. But I just don't understand what the school districts are going through down south. And I'm sure it's bad. I work with listen, I work with kids with behavior issues, so I understand. But it can't be that bad where you're clearing out valuable, like, are you gonna build another library? Like, how is this getting ready to work? Because you making that, and most libraries in schools are pretty big. They're about as big as the cafeteria, maybe half the cafeteria, but they're still a little big. So I'm just wondering how many kids do you think or expect to be in these disciplinary centers? And do you have any plans of action for these people? That's what I would like to know. Do you have any plan of action for these students besides making them feel like an outcast and putting them in a disciplinary center? For all that, you might as well send them to a detention center. You're gonna do that. I don't know. I just really want to know what the schools are thinking. And I feel like, even with the schools where I live at, they are more focused on the behavior of a child than worrying about making sure that that child gets the fundamentals that they need to succeed. So I don't know. Is behavior superseding education? How is this working? Because I believe some things we just are blowing completely out of proportion. And this is one of them, because you don't need that big of a space for kids with behaviors. And if you know, like we know, if you knew like we knew, if you called a parent and you get that one good parent to tear that tail up one good time, we wouldn't be going through these issues. At least that's what my parents did. I turned out okay. I don't know about anybody else, but I think I turned out pretty good. Oh boy, the fun of hot topics. I really enjoy it. All right, it is time for our quote of the week. I really like this one. I really like this one. So, our quote of the week says, "Every day this week is an opportunity for you to become a better you." Um, I love that quote. I think it's a much needed quote for the time we live in right now. Because everybody is striving to be somebody. Everybody is striving to, make it somewhere. Destiny to their destiny, to the top, where however you want to phrase it, however you want to look at it. They are definitely looking to get to some status. And I feel like when you take the opportunity to work on yourself and you take the opportunity to work on your values, your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, and also do some self-awareness, do some self-reflection, do those types of things, I believe you'll make it to wherever you're trying to get to and wherever you're trying to go. No, it's not going to be easy, but it's worth it. And I'm understanding that more and more now, that no, things are not always going to be easy, but they're worth it. They are really worth it. And so I really encourage anyone who is out there trying to make it happen. Please, 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 whatever you do, please make sure that you take the opportunity to become a better version of yourself. And don't do it for nobody else. Don't do it for nobody else. Don't do it for family. Don't do it for boyfriend, girlfriend. Don't do it for anybody else. Do it exactly, specifically for yourself. And you will be okay. We are going to take a quick break, really quick. And we will be right back. Give me a couple minutes and we'll continue on with our show. I'm back. I thought y'all would be excited. Anyway, okay, it's all right. Cool. Listen, I I, I'm still in laughter about. I have to go back to it real quick, and then we'll go into it. But I'm still in laughter at this. I don't know why, but I'm still in laughter at this. Like, this is, all jokes aside, this is throwing me today. I just the entire day. This is what has thrown me, that this man said he's gonna run from prison. I just don't know what else to say. But anyway, y'all know what time it is. I'm not gonna prolong any longer. It is madness time, and it's time to talk, and it's time to bring out my special guest. Listen, first of all, let me say this. Most of you guys know I am a musician. Um, well, I say it like this. I'm a musician, but I stick to my lane. But most of you who associate with me in church or whatever, I do sing. I love praise and worship. Um, Besides preaching and all of that, I love praise and worship. It is one of the foundations of what I grew up on. And the young man that I'm getting ready to bring out tonight, first of all, let me say this to you. I listened to his songs this week. The man is on fire. Like, he has his own unique swag. He has his own unique style. Music is not like anybody else's. You can't compare his music to other people. It is genuinely authentic, and I enjoyed listening to it. Um, he has a version of a single out called "I'm Flowing in Grace." The thing is nice. The song is lit. I love it. I was bumping it this week, and I'm like, listen, that I might have to put that on my Apple playlist so I can bump that to work. When I go back to school, when we go back to school, I'm gonna be bumping that in my office so my kids can hear it. But this gentleman, he's a father. He is a life coach. He is a praise and worship leader, and I can honestly say I believe worship is all in him and through him. But I'm not going to do too much more talking about him. I'm going to let him talk about himself. So without further ado, I introduce to you tonight Mr. Malcom Christopher II.
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How you been?
Man, listen, I'm living the dream, or at least trying to. I'm at least trying to live the dream, but I'm living it, man. I am living it. First of all, I want to say welcome to the Late Night Madness Show. We are glad to have you here. And I always start off by, letting my guests please tell us where you're from, what you do, how you do it.
Cool. So my name is Malcolm Christopher. I'm the second. I am from Dallas, Texas, born and raised. Um, what do I do? I'm a teacher. I teach eighth grade. Um, I'm a coach as well, so I coach all sports: basketball, football, track. Just everything within the middle school athletic department. I also I am a praise and worship leader. I sing praise and worship literally, all over Dallas when I get the opportunity to. And then I'm a father. I'm a husband. I have a beautiful wife by the name of Simone Christopher. I have two kids. Malcolm the third, he's 3, and August Adair, she just turned 1. So I got a boy and a girl. Got the best of both worlds. Um, and then lastly, I'm pursuing to be an gospel artist, up and coming gospel artist. So yeah, that's me. That's what I do. It's who I am. So yeah.
Well, first of all, lovely to meet you. Second of all, you got that gospel artist thing down pat, man. I'm trying to tell you. I was
Appreciate it.
listening. Listen, I was listening to your music. I was like, okay. And I'm a critic when it comes to music because I love music. But I was like, okay, I like this. I was bumping it. My wife enjoyed it. So you got us there. So
I
um
appreciate it.
so, yeah, man, yes. Listen, but so glad to have you on. I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions. I'm definitely not gonna keep you long, but I have to ask what the fans want to know, and I have some personal questions because I was looking at your bio and I was touched by one thing. And the thing I was touched by was the phrase that you have in your bio, which says, "It was His grace that gave me another chance." What do you mean by that?
When I say it was His grace that gave me another chance, I'm literally just talking about um, the trials and tribulations that have, happened in my life. One of the trials and tribulations is, just literally going through out life in this world, knowing who God is, but at the same time of knowing who God is still trying to do what Malcolm wants to do. I always, a lot of times in life, have caught myself uh, literally just knowing who God is, but wanting to control the narrative, wanting to control which direction that I feel that I should go in. And God has always, had to redirect me and show me, hey, this is not the direction I want you to go in. Even just the trials and tribulations of being a husband, being a father, just growing into, to it. I didn't come in, like everybody else came in, actually, being, just being the husband that, I was just ready for it. I was not prepared. I had a lot of a selfless self things within me that, I had to get rid of in order to be the best that I could be to my wife and also to my kids as well. So when I'm saying literally, it was because of His grace. It is because of His grace, because literally God could have just let me be. He could have just let me go and wander and do whatever that I thought was pleasing, to myself. And I could have been down on the road of destruction, and where I could have not been the role model I needed to be for my children. I could have been the husband that I need to be to my wife. Like, I'm telling you, He could have just literally just left me there, And so I just thank God for His grace and His mercy, because I know that it covers me each and every day. And I was listening to you how you were saying about how you like the song "I'm Flowing in Grace," and "I'm Flowing in Grace" literally says that. Like, look, I'm not perfect one bit. I go through things each and every day. I fall short, just like the next person falls short. And so, with that being said, grace is covering me. Even right now as we speak, grace is covering me. And so that's what that quote is referring to.
Man, I love it. I wish more people were on here to hear it because it is. I'm finding that myself. I've been married 5 years.
Yeah.
I have four beautiful children, and I find myself saying the same thing that you just said, but in a different way.
Right.
I understand God's grace, and I understand when He said to Paul that His grace was sufficient.
Mm-hmm.
And we ask God all the time to take certain things away, and Lord, help us here and help us with this, and I got a thorn here and I got a thorn there, but I understood more and more what He meant, and I could relate with that phrase that you have in your bio, and I was like, wow, how powerful is that? That more young men, and specifically more young men who are married, or thinking about marriage or going into it, need to really hone down on that phrase alone. It is
Right.
His grace. Like, and I think our generation thinks that this thing is easy. Like, I think they see what goes on and it's like, oh, this is easy. Oh, I can do it. But not understanding that although we smile in the front, we still have to deal with that. Lord, like, are you sure you told me to do this? Like,
Right.
are you
Right.
positive you taking me this way? We have a lot of Elijah moments where we like, God, I gotta go in the cave because I don't know about this. I'm not for sure about this. So
Right.
I really
Right.
I really thank you for your transparency and in that phrase. Moving to my next question for you. With all of that, how do you tie that home aspect into ministry? I heard you say, you didn't come from that background per se. So how do you now, being a worship leader and also being a father and a husband, how do you tie all of that in with ministry and your worship and all of that?
Man, literally is nothing but God. First and foremost, um, I I can't do it all by myself. That's the first thing that I had to realize, and I had to also be grateful and thankful for um the many blessings that God has put around me. As far as help and things of that nature. Um, one of the main helps is my wife each and every day. If I don't get it from any, nobody like mentor or family members or whatever like that, I know when I come home, I know my wife, she gonna literally tell me, hey, hey, you gotta get yourself together, you know what I'm saying? Or you need to continue to keep praying, stay on whatever like that, so just my family in general, my immediate family, just me and my kids. When I look at them, it lets me know, hey, hey, I got something to live for, and I got, I gotta live a life worth fulfilling to God. So therefore that I'm able to lead, them, and so just balancing it out, like I said, my family helps me do it, and. Just God, because like I'm literally wearing one hat, taking it off, wearing another hat. You know what I'm saying? So you could definitely get caught up, and with teaching, with being a praise and worship leader, with being a gospel artist, with being a father and a husband, you're pouring yourself over and over and over into so many areas. You pour yourself into so many other people's lives. So, it gets tiring, you know what I'm saying? And then those times of it getting tiring, it's just great to just have my wife next to me. It's great to just know that God is always with me. And hey, literally that's just the way I handle it. It's nothing but family, God, and just, saying yes to his will and yes to his way and just going with it, so.
I love the one thing I'm loving about this conversation. We're gonna take a quick break in a second and then come back. I ask you a couple more questions and we're gonna get out of here. But the one thing that I'm loving about this conversation is you are acknowledging your partner. And
Yeah.
I don't hear a lot of young guys acknowledge. It's almost like their wife is a trophy. Oh, she's here.
Right. Right.
But to hear you say, I have my wife, I have my family, that is my support. I can see, where your strength lies. And I wish we had more time because I would go into it, but I can't. But I see where your strength lies. I see where where to lay your head. Where to lay your thoughts and lay how you feel and all of that. And that's important, especially being a young man. We have to be careful with, who we release to. And a lot of times that can become really hard, especially, I do the same thing. I teach alternative school, 8th grade alternative school.
Gotcha.
So I understand, I understand that pouring out and having to give out all the time.
Right.
And then you got to come home and pour out and give out some more. Then go to church and pour out and give out. So I understand, but where we're weak, he's made strong. And I thank the Lord for that. We're going to take a quick break, y'all, and then we'll be right back. right, welcome to the Late Night Madness Show. We are back with my special guest, Mr. Malcolm Christopher II. Listen, y'all saw. Now y'all know I'm about to talk my stuff. I hate to do it with my new friend, but I'm gonna talk my stuff. It's my show. I can do it. Y'all saw the T-shirt sign. Y'all saw it. I got mine. Get yours, please. Support a brother. It's only $20 for a shirt, and I make them myself. Take out the time to make these shirts, so get you one. We have Jesus over everything. We have the Lion of Judah with the Star of David. We got some for the girls. We got something for everybody. But the main one we definitely have is no excuses, just action. That is our slogan here on this show is no excuses. We put everything to action. We don't want our hands to become idle. So make sure you get yourself at least one of those T-shirts. Again, I'm here with my guest, and we're talking about. We were just talking about, strength and where we learn to release from, and all of that good stuff. But I want to switch over into something real quick, and I have to ask this question only because, he is a praise and worship leader. So I have to ask, what made you want to become a gospel artist?
Good question. So growing up, I sung in the choir. But also growing up, I love basketball. Like basketball. If it was Michael Jordan, that's what it was. That's what I wanted to do. Just growing up in the choir and learning from my aunt how to sing and leading my first song in the choir. What led to me actually becoming a gospel artist is that when I see that I could allow God to use me in the way that that He saw fit to use me through singing, songs to Him. I just love how it hit people. I love how when certain songs in those moments they would say, I needed that. I appreciate you for that. And so me as a gospel artist literally stemmed off of that. I began to think to myself, well, hey, I'm singing a lot of other people's songs. Why not, let's hear from what Malcolm has to say, as far as, what life has done to Malcolm. How can I encourage someone through my story and things of that nature? And so I began to put pen to paper. And 2015, I came out with my first album, Still Standing, and then graduated college, and you got I'm Flowing in Grace, and now you got the new single that just came out about a month ago, Mighty You Are. So that's how it happened, Just wanted to encourage someone else. Not looking to be famous, not looking to be on TV on the biggest platform receiving awards. It was just literally God just used me to reach your people and to win souls for you.
And I'm gonna tell you, I listened to that mighty you are. Oh man, man, listen, I'm very, like I said, I'm very particular when it comes to music because I don't listen to everybody. But when you have an authentic person doing music, and then to match what you're saying with what you sing about, oh man, I could refer you to a lot of people just for them to get your music to listen to, because it's different when you can hear somebody's song and them from TV and blah
Right.
blah blah. It's a whole nother thing when you hear somebody's song and then hear the testimony behind why they do what they do. It's mind blowing, man. So I'm definitely a fan. So you definitely are doing your thing out there. So I have two more questions for you, and then we're gonna get out of here. But this question right here is definitely personal, and I'm sure you probably have a way of answering it, and you might have answered it throughout the session. But if this generation was to come to you and ask you, who is Malcolm Christopher, without your bio, without all the extra strings with it, if they were just to come to you and be like, who is Malcolm Christopher, what could you tell them?
If they ask me who Malcolm Christopher, I would definitely tell them that I'm a I'm a I'm a man that's trying to get it right each and every day. I'm a man that's flawed, just like you, that goes through things just like you go through. Um, I would let them know that even in those things of that I'm going through, that I'm always looking, to God to, see me through, to bring me out. I would just let them know that the only reason that I am who I am is because of Him. Nothing that you see that's on these Facebook or Instagram or even in this interview right now is phony and fake. What I am right here is literally what God called me to be, what He told me to do, and so yeah, that's what I would let them know, and just through that, I just also want to let them know that hey, you can have fun loving God just like you have fun doing anything else. One thing you hit on, you said, with the music and it being authentic and things like that. If you listen to those vibes of songs, it's not far off from, other music that you love hearing. When you go to that family cookout, when in your car and you just riding each and every day. And so I make music from a place of, my love for God, but also just wanting to show that you can have all the swag that you want to have, but you can still love God. Um, just as if you love everything else. And so that's what I would tell them.
I love that. That was well put and well said. So, and you kind of dived into my other question, but I'm gonna let you go ahead and still have that moment. I ask my guests all the time when I in the show, if you had 60 seconds to minister to this young millennial Gen Z generation, in 60 seconds, what could you tell them that would encourage them to keep going forward?
What I would tell them is understand and know that God is always faithful. Understand that the desires and the dreams that you have, God is able and He's capable of making all of those things come true. But the most important thing that you have to do in each and every situation is put Him first. So that's putting Him first when it comes to school, putting Him first when it comes to the decisions that you make, putting Him first in your marriage, putting Him first, period. That's just what I would tell them. And when you do those things, you will reap all of the benefits of what it is like to actually rock with God and actually have Him in the center of everything that you do.
Man, I love that answer. I love that answer. And I hope and pray that somebody on here tonight has heard that and is touched and inspired. Listen, I'm grateful that you came on tonight. I appreciate it. Um, how can the people get in touch with you? How can they follow you? How can they get your music? How can they get all of that stuff?
So first off, I want to say I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be a part. I thank you for just allowing me to come on your platform and just kick it with you for a few minutes. Definitely got to do this again. As far as everybody getting to know Malcolm even more, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Everything is Malcolm Christopher II, and it's Malcom Christopher II. And so you can just follow me on there. And other than that, go support my new single, Mighty You Are. It's available everywhere. We have a music video coming out too as well. We just did one of the first stops for the Walls Group, their tour. And so we got more things to come. And so just continue to keep following me and continue to keep me in your prayers, keep my family in your prayers. And until we meet again, man, like I said, I'm grateful for the opportunity. And I'm just excited. I really think this was a great interview. And I really feel like, I want to just come back and just sit on here and just, chop it up with you about whatever it could be. So yeah, man, just thank you.
Listen, man, I appreciate you coming on. I had a good time too, and you definitely gonna be back. Don't worry about it. You gonna be back. Matter of fact, push come to shove, you let me know when you having a concert or something. I have no problems with getting on a plane. I got you. I promise that one.
I
Um,
appreciate it.
so yeah, but I definitely enjoyed this interview. I will say this to you because I have to do what I have to do, who I am and what I am. I will say this to you that God is going to open up the door for you to be on major platforms. Not that you're not already on major platforms, but there are more major platforms for you to come. And think it not strange if the opportunity presents itself for you to take your music outside of the United States. God is going to put people before you that may not look like you, they may not talk like you, they may not look like church either, but they're going to be specifically assigned to you to minister through your music. God is going to allow your music to go farther than you ever thought it would. Not just on Apple Music and Spotify, but it's going to go so many different places. People all over the entire world are going to want to know who Malcolm Christopher is. And I promise you that not many days hence from today, God's gonna manifest every secret thing that you prayed to Him, every desire you've had in your heart, even things that you have discussed with your wife that you haven't discussed with anybody, but it's just been plans that you got. God said, "I'm gonna do it for you because you're humble, you're faithful, and you're obedient." And with that, man, I thank you for coming on this show,
Thank you so
and
much.
I appreciate you so much. I'm gonna put you. I'm gonna send you to the back, and I'm gonna close out the show.
All right. Have a good one.
Have a good one. You too, man.
All right.
What? What? Y'all? Do y'all see this? Awesome, man of God. And listen, he was down to earth. He wasn't uppity. He wasn't, he got his own swag. I told y'all, I'm not bringing y'all anybody on this show that doesn't have their own authenticness to them. And he was authentic. He has his own swag. He has his own style, and I appreciate him for coming on. What a wonderful special guest that I had. And let me tell you, he will be back. We're going to get him for another date. So don't you worry yourself. He will be back. But listen, please make sure that you follow him. Anybody that I bring on here, I want you to make sure that you connect with them because you never know. They may come to your city. They may come to your state. They may come to your ministry. Or you may be able to connect with them because you have an idea or a song or whatever. And you may be able to collab. Listen, this is about networking. This is about not just staying in our local mindset, but we got to think abroad. And so anybody I bring on here, I want you guys to connect with them, support them, push them. Don't be selfish this season. God not going to bless selfishness. When you push somebody else's vision, even if all you got to do is go on Apple Music and get the man music. That's all you got to do. That's support. See, y'all look for support and money. Y'all got to get out of that. That's the wrong mindset. Even if you take that man's music, put it on one of your reels. I know I'm about to. You ain't got to worry about it. Watch tomorrow. I'm going to cook some food. I'm going to cook something real nice. I promise you. I'm going to use one of his songs right on my reel. Watch me. Y'all think I'm playing. I really like this song, and I'm going to post it on my Instagram so other people can follow, other people can get his music because his song was really, really good. So with that, I love y'all. Y'all be blessed. Y'all have a great week. Remember, take every opportunity this week to become a better you. It's only up from here. We're not going back down. No excuses, just action. And with that, I am your host, Dr. Isaiah Felder, the Millennial Mindset Influencer, and you have been on the Late Night Madness Show. With this, I say, I bid you adieu and good night.